Hi, I'm CJ and this is my RC channel. So now it's time to start assembling, and so I'm going to be using the Ford holes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so start by putting in our standoffs. I may end up switching out these 2mm spacers. This is a ride height adjustment, and I'm going to go ahead and set this up with the stock setting for the moment. But because of the asphalt, I may go to a little more front end ride height, so I'm not catching the chassis on any leftover gravel and whatnot. I was definitely tempted to go with 1s or even 1.5s, but I'm going to wait, put the whole front end together, see how that change goes, and what kind of ride height I get out of this with my stock tires, and we'll see. I'm probably going to be running Tamiya Ultra Soft tires on this. Okay, I've got those in titanium. See, these arms kind of act like your springs. They do provide a little bit of flexibility, and that's why the shorter arms versus the thicker, wider arms in this case. And those are our lower arms, believe it or not. So now on to the next step. Okay, we need this piece here. And we need these two pieces here. And we need our body mount. So way too much. need 14s, and I need an 8. Just confirm that. Yep. If you're not sure about one of your nuts or bolts, you can always hold it up against the legend here, or put your calipers on it. Okay, so now we need our pin, and we're going to put this in second from the top. Get it equally across, and then we're going to snap this on from above. Let me just make sure there isn't a left or a right. No. I mean, a front or a rear. There we go. That's a nice little setup. So now we are going to attach our front bumper. And that's just going to go right on top here. Even though we have holes for hex nuts, we are not going to be using those. We're going to be doing it this way for whatever reason. The main reason is that this is our sway bar mount. Wait a minute. Those are M4 by 14s. Do I have those? I've got M4 by 15s. I don't mind a millimeter longer. That'll be fine, especially in this case. So I can just put a little bit of Loctite in each of these holes. Now we get two of this piece here. Now I'm going with the narrower track up front, so I'm going to need the because I'm using these softer ones, so I'm going to need to use this piece here. Okay, so now we need to start setting up our front to rear connection. We need this piece. And we need this piece here. It's going to go on like that. Okay, so center hole. It's kind of odd. They have us setting it up like that, but okay. know why they have us set this up like this, but so be it. Okay. So that piece goes here. This piece goes here. Okay, great. So let me just kind of eyeball something out here. Yeah, that's the way. If I put this piece here, I'm going to be way offline. So yes, this goes into storage. And I'm not going to be using this piece. Already established that. So that's all front end parts that I will save for later. So now it's time to start using the little pills. And that means that we're going to be using our caster pills here, here, and here. So whatever settings we do, we need the same setting in all three of these locations here. And then we'll do the 4 locations here for our outers. So this is our caster. We've either got 6 degrees or 9 degrees, or we can have 3 degrees or 12 degrees. And let's see what the stock setup calls for. Ah, right here. Okay, 9 degrees of caster. So single dot, and the dots facing front. If we went for more caster, we would have better cornering speed, increased traction rolling. Use on large open tracks where cornering speed is needed. Less caster angle, more reactive steering, use on technical tracks where lots of so okay, so maybe I'll start with 12 instead of 9, since I'm going to be running on large open tracks where cornering speed is needed. That makes sense. Also, more caster gives you better straight line stability. So I'm going to do the 2 dots facing forward. Okay, now I can put away the other 3. And I will use those in the future if needed. And that's also a very easy switch. If I want to make a change to that, all you got to do is undo 3 screws, pull the pills, switch them, and all that does is move this piece slightly one way or the other, and you're set. So now there is a 2mm spacer underneath each of these mounting points. This is our ride height. So if we took out, if I had switched the 4 2mm under the standoffs for these to raise the chassis in effect, I would have needed to swap these for the same size. And I need 3x10s, which again I have tons of in titanium. Just a little dab of thread lock on each of those. Now, I would not recommend over-tightening this in particular. Number one, you're doing metal into metal, so the Loctite is going to stop these. You don't want to collapse these pills. It'll be very hard to get them back out of the carbon fiber if you stretch them too much. I would just snug these down and leave it like that. Let the Loctite do its thing. Now this is where we'd be using the little centerpiece, which we are not using, so we don't need to worry about that. That's all in place. So now it's time to move on. This is where we're going to set our camber. Okay. Now we thread into the bottom of these. We need 10s. This is actually a location where these little pills, we are going to be threading into them as if they were a bolt. They make aluminum versions of these that are threaded, and I think that would be a wise option to get. The camber ones, these guys, you could go with plastic and not go with the aluminum ones, but these, since they are going to be threaded into like a bolt and are going to retain the front suspension, those it might be a wise idea to go with aluminum. and I don't think they're very expensive. I'll look into that later and get you guys a price on that. So I've picked my choice. I'm going to go for the maximum camber, more camber on asphalt and low traction tracks. That's definitely what I'm doing. So I'm going to go for the 2.5 degrees of camber. And again, that'll be something that I keep an eye on and back off on if I'm not getting a good result. So we want to position these with the holes facing outwards. This is going to be fun. Okay, so we need a pair of 0.3 millimeter spacers. I'm going to pause for just a moment. So let's see. Wow, these are really hard to do. If I'd known these were going to go in from the bottom, I would have done these after. I would have put this top piece together with the two arms and then screwed it in. In fact, it is easy enough to take this right back out. Yeah, but then I got those spacers to deal with. This is a difficult design to assemble. It's very functional, but it's tough. Okay, let's see. I want the holes facing inward. No, outward. And how to get these in place. Maybe the best thing to do is to set it on the edge of a pair of pliers like that. Nope, that's not gonna go easily. Okay, how about... Sorry for the sniffles, guys. It's a lot of pollen in the air still. Driving me a little nuts. Okay, let's try. Okay, holes going to the outside. Excuse me, that works. Just do one side at a time. God. Major pain in the neck. Okay, these are our 0.3 millimeter spacers. Loctite needed here. Be careful not to strip these. Get them so there's no up and down movement, and then we have our nice front end suspension movement here. So that's these are going to stay mostly flat, while these can move up and down. That's where our little springs go in down below. Let's our hubs move. Very complicated front end design, but looks like it's really good at the same time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please click like and please subscribe to my channel.